Something has been on my mind for a while. It calls to me in my sleep and when I'm tempted to hide. It calls to me in moments of happiness and despair, disconnect and clarity. 10 years ago began the journey of healing and self-discovery, 2012. I started to become serious about mastering my craft. I started really seeking independence and true autonomy. I broke away from teachings that only served to oppress and confine. I realized slowly that I was one to never be contained, and that to combat this nagging sense of despair, I had to have courage. The word courage, when used in this context, is not meant to shame people who struggle with mental illnesses. Rather, it comes from my own experience with depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Often, I did not have the courage to be great. That is not a moral issue or even a personality flaw. It is the result of uncontrollable chronic illness. Talking about mental illness openly helps to challenge the status quo taboo. The way that I communicate is through art instead of words. My name is Taylor Jackson. I am a queer, non-binary artist based in Houston, Texas, and I love communicating through personal illustrated portraits to the animation and graphic design. I like to share a few works I created for an event called Blacktober last year as a way to see ourselves represented in popular characters as well as to showcase the talent of Black artists. One of the Blacktober daily themes was love, and I decided to reimagine one of my favorite LGBT character relationships. By the way, one of my favorite animes is Yuri on Ice. One of my goals is to create shows in the future that are good representation of diverse BIPOC protagonists and supporting cast. Art therapy, an ongoing series I developed during Blacktober, has been very important to my growth as an artist. It is an effort to process what I'm feeling through reimagining popular stories and also creating some of my own. Talking about these openly and posting about them has been helpful in the healing process. So far, I have explored topics such as abandonment, apathy, disassociation, and isolation. Some of my favorite works created so far investigate representation. Works like Shelter and Infinity are a continuation of my interest in representing strong Black and queer characters. There are also other works about representation that were created a couple years ago as a way to process the political climate at that time. So what truly goes through my mind when an idea is sparked? Sometimes it comes from media that I absorb, other times it relates to whatever I'm going through at the time, good or bad. I start with a sketch and I scribble madly until it's done. I am compelled to get the entirety of the vision down until I'm satisfied with the result. Graphic design is a part of my practice that has developed as an extension to my passion for illustration. As someone who has multiple interests and likes to dabble in multiple areas of visual arts, graphic design appealed to me early on as a chance to communicate with symbolism. This is the radio t-shirt I did for HCC in 2020. I've worked with clients such as Houston Community College and used the opportunity to reflect my values focused on education and resources for underserved communities. I see my art as an extension of my being and my journey. I see the possibilities to share my voice as well as give voice to others. I'm excited about continuing to make work that lifts people up and helps them feel connected. Jackson Gout Art is Taylor Arlette Jackson. Thank you for joining me on my journey this evening.